Last week on The Club.
We'll enjoy the win tonight. I suppose come Monday we'll be firmly focused on round 3 against Carlton of the G.
Oh, we hate Carlton, the rivals of probably the greatest rival we ever got.
And when you play Carlton, and it's a week you really look forward to because it's all the media is about and all the paper talk is about Carlton and Collingwood.
Oh, look, it'll be a physical game. They're obviously in pretty good form, and you know, we think the first 3 quarters we played last week were really good. So we're going to meet each other into the MCG, and hopefully we walk off with a win.
The passion for Collingwood, the enthusiasm looking forward to a game, becoming nervous about a game as if you were playing in it, is all part of an experience that you find difficult to relate to people who don't live in Melbourne or don't understand Australian rules.
High on the hill, looking over the bridge to the MCG.
Hope we see some Fazolo magic tonight, some Dacos type goals. Really good. I'm Shane Marshall. I'm a lifelong Collingwood supporter. I'm also a judge of the Federal Court of Australia.
Silence or stand.
Some people say to me, I'm surprised you barrack for Collingwood because you've got all your teeth. And some people also say that an advantage of being a Collingwood supporter is you've got your own probation officer. So I think those sort of jokes make the stereotype that a lot of people say applies to Collingwood supporters.
You realise Monday's out that week, that's the day Collingwood beat Melbourne.
Given that the last time we won I was in school in 1964, I'm not holding my breath, Your Honour.
Lots of people have stressful jobs. My job can be stressful, and I have some escapes from reality, and I describe Collingwood as my primary escape from reality.
When I'm in the crowd, I do get carried away a little bit, sometimes a lot. Although since being in this job, I've got a bit of a deeper respect for umpires than I had prior to the appointment. It's hard being an adjudicator.
Oh, going to the football with Kate is part of a father-daughter bonding thing. We both share a passion for the Pies. Our club's a broad church. We attract people from a broad range of society, and I'm proud to say that one of my mates is Joffa Korf. Yeah, but didn't you tell me that I scared you at the NAB Cup with my barracking? Remember when Milne gave us the bird?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
I got great pleasure out of being taken into the cheer squad for one NAB Cup game in 2010 that got some publicity later. Joffa said that I should sit with him and enjoy a cultural experience, but you remember in that game we had it in hand, but just in the last few minutes there was an errant kick across the back line, and immediately after that happened the siren went. Milne ran straight up to the cheer squad and gave them a mouthful, and I couldn't believe it. I was there with my mouth open catching flies. Meanwhile some of the others were giving him the bird, but ended up being subject of a story about that in the paper, which was hysterical and a bit funny. There's quite a lot of people from various backgrounds barracking for all sorts of teams, and we're no different.
And we're told today, standing room only, as Collingwood arrive. Not a great bounce to start proceedings. Jolly unloads, moves at about 10 metres, taken by Scott for Cruiser. Swan kept away from the football by Murphy. It was well played. Betts, who was spectacular last week. Here he comes, runs inside the 50. Kick is on the way. It's working back nicely. It's a goal.
Geez, I hate it when people get their seats swayed to opposition supporters. Go Trav! Run, Faz! Come on, Faz! Finally, an inside 50. How long did that take?
Stood up really well on the tackle. Beams gets it back from Blair. Good kick, Beams. Just missing.
Come on, pick him up.
He does what Armfield has done.
Andrew!
Goes down with a sore knee.
What's that?
He's not moving.
Stay! Stay!
I can't see. Ball, is it?
That look says it all.
It was an awkward kick for Dawes, well played Dawes, and then Dawes running away and then going for goal, and he's kicked well.
That'll do heaps for Dawes' confidence.
Really, here's Robinson to Judd, gets past Ball. The Ball hurt himself again there. Okay. He's turned around to take his 18th possession. This is not good. So
Luke Ball's in real trouble now. Have to get him off.
The ball sits up. They're not going to get him. Clark won't run him down. Garnett's still going, and that hurts. That is brilliant.
I'm surprised how quick the Carlton players are. I just hope that they tire soon. Got a text message from my wife. Yeah, it's disappointing that people leaving before the end. Oh, I think it's a sign of disrespect for the players. They're out there busting their guts, you know.
On with a wobbly old kick to Thomas. In one of those nights, has it to side bottom.
Get the bucket out. I hate this song. Our boys try their heart out for us. We had 2 players down from very early on and others carrying niggles. Give Carlton their due, they're a very good side, but they were very lucky to strike us on a night like this when we had a lot of bad luck. The footy season's a marathon, it's not a sprint. Let Carlton be April champions, that's fine. As long as we're there at the end, that's all that matters.
We were basically caught short in the area that we thought we were pretty strong in, and that was the contest. They smashed us around the ball. You know, minus 30 contested ball is amazing numbers, especially for this group. And clearances minus 18. It was a disastrous night for the midfield, and you know, we expect better from that quality of player. It hasn't been a trend. It was we felt like. You know, that we could at least match Carlton in that area. So to go down like that's really disappointing, and that we'd expect a really strong response this week in that area. All the external media stuff, I think it's the coaching staff's responsibility to manage all that, and keep the boys focused on what the job is at hand, and that's internally. We're really strong about that, and we know what we're about. So we've got to keep driving that. And there's always going to be a lot of media, talk about the club, and that's fine. But what happens internally is what really counts, and that's up to us to drive that really strong.
We're more than aware that our performance against Carlton was poor. They're playing very good footy, and we perform poorly, and we've got to remedy that, and the rest looks after itself. The media's got to the point where there's a lot of opinion out there, and we're used to that. We're exposed to it. We're accountable for our actions and our performances, and I think it's justified that there's a little bit of there's questions and comment about our performance on Friday, because it was simply not at the standard we expect. Mick's working in the media, and he's entitled to an opinion. He's doing his job, and I think he's doing it particularly well. His perspective about Collingwood is more informed than anyone outside of the footy club. So I take note of his comments, because he obviously knows intimately how the game was played from Collingwood in recent times in particular. So he can see the differences in the way, perhaps the changes and the shifts that we're trying to make, and like I read and listened to the comments, and all he's doing is making judgment or passing an opinion on what those are, and he's very accurate. The fact is that I had 8 years as a player under Mick, and in the last 2 years I worked as an assistant coach under Mick. I'm where I am now because of him. Way back in '09, when we looked at each other in the eye and said, do we want to do this? If Mick hadn't have said yes, well, I wouldn't be here. So You know, I mean, he's been fantastic in my development, and Mick's entitled to his opinion, and I understand that's going to keep coming, and it's unfortunate for all of us, but it's just the way it is. Oh, look, Eddie's a passionate man, and he's going to back and support Collingwood to the hilt. And I think where it's got to is it's not great for the footy club. I think it has been blown out of proportion. If you read Eddie's comments initially, the middle class comment was actually coming about how we performed on Friday. So it's more a knock on the current group and myself than it was on Mick. So look, I think there's probably been a miscommunication that's been fostered in many ways by some outsiders that don't mind to see the miscommunication pushed up. We need to perform well against Port Adelaide on Saturday. They've been a very strong performer through the pre-season and in the early rounds, and we're definitely going to be totally focused on performing the way we need to play well there.
Yeah, so the last 48 hours has just been about coming to terms with the disappointment with what's happened, and so I guess you see other players go through it over the years and hope and think that it's never going to happen to you, but I guess my turn was up.